Everything is decorated with, there's just flowers everywhere. And it's like this really beautiful scene. And Han is waiting for his cue to walk out into the stage, take his place. It's time for him to walk out, but he's super nervous and he finds that he can't move. Chewie is with him. Chewie just grabs him and starts dragging him out down the aisle. And then Han's like, all right, I'm going. You don't have to threaten to carry me. And just as he says that, the curtain like gets revealed and there he is. And so then he like kind of puts on a smile and he's like, oh yeah. And he just starts walking out. He takes his spot and Leia enters and he says to him, basically to Han's perspective, the whole room just disappeared and it was just him and her as soon as she walked in.
I almost want to cry. That's so cute.
She's wearing a meadow green gown embroidered with flowers. Her sides are kind of open and she has these laced white fur boots that go up to her knees. Her hair is loose and she's got kind of like 2 braids keeping the locks out of her face. And a really nice touch, Luke is officiating the wedding, which I think is really nice. This doesn't matter, but I was questioning. I was like, is Jedi like a legal religion where like he can officiate, or did he have to go get a license real quickly online? They are the new government. I guess Mon Mothma could have been like, all right, Jedi can officiate weddings. That's the rule now. Before he can even start, the Ewoks start protesting that C-3PO is their god and he needs to do he needs to officiate the wedding. And Han's like, hell no. And they basically have C-3PO tell the Ewoks that he will appoint Luke to do the wedding just to quiet them down. Luke gives like kind of a speech, and during it, he does give a moment of silence for those that cannot be here. And he says, no one is ever truly gone. In moments of love and joy, you'll always feel their presence. They're all sitting there and they're closing their eyes. And Leia, all of a sudden, she feels something on her belt. And she's like, what's that? And then she realizes she's feeling the weight of the sword from her mother. And suddenly she feels these bristles on her forehead. And she ended up feeling the kiss from her father. And I know.
My god. The Force?
It's not explained, but like she feels her mother in that moment of silence put the sword on, and she feels her father kiss her forehead. And yeah, it made me like tear up.
I cry so hard.
And when she opens her eyes, Luke is staring at her. He seems to have sensed it too, and he kind of says it quietly, so only Han and Leia can hear it, but he says, no one is ever truly gone. One of the head Ewoks ends up interrupting the ceremony. He takes Han and Leia's hands and he ties their fingers together, their ring fingers, with this plant. And then he grabs their hands and he pulls them apart. And the plant, when it rips, it leaks a sap and it hardens it and it turns it into their wedding rings. The Ewoks start chanting and they're banging their hands and just like y'all yelling, and then Han and Leia kiss. And all of a sudden, all the flowers in the room come alive and they fly out. And it turns out they weren't flowers, they were insects.